Back with breaking news on the two missing moms. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation announced the two bodies they found earlier this week were Veronica Butler and Jilian Kelley. We'll put their pictures up in a second. A group called God's Misfits have been charged in the deaths of the two women who disappeared in Oklahoma. This is the Misfits mugshots. On the far right is Tifany Adams. Tifany Adams is not only the grandmother of the murdered woman's children, but she's also the former chair of the county's Republican Party. Adams accused of being one of the masterminds behind the murders, researching stun guns, purchasing burner phones, planning multiple murder scenarios. How does a seemingly normal woman become one of God's misfits and eventually murder the mother of her grandchildren? In an exclusive statement, Veronica Butler's attorney has told NewsNation this case highlights the conflict, stress, and magnitude of decisions that go into any child custody case. This case was contentious from the beginning. It became increasingly contentious as time went on. So unfortunate. I'm so deeply saddened by the loss of my client, Veronica. I know all she ever wanted was to love her children. NewsNation senior correspondent Brian Entin is in Liberal, Kansas, looking into this. God's Misfits is sort of one of the more catchy names in all of life, and the mugshots fit, Brian, as I'm sure you found out traveling through Kansas. Was this group formed for this purpose, or were these people who were sort of always a little out there and had some unusual views and were planning unusual things, and this just was how they got caught?
Well, a few interesting things. First of all, Leland, there are a lot of people in this area who are anti-government. I mean, I've been talking to people here for the last day, and that's not unusual. But the God's Misfits group is extreme. It does exist in this area. They have meetings on the Oklahoma-Texas line, and they believe that they only have to follow God's law. That's what I found out today. They don't believe that they have to adhere to the law of the land or the state laws. They only have to adhere to God's law, which could have something to do with why they thought they'd get away with this. By the way, when you were setting up who these folks are, I mean, you might not be able to tell from the pictures, but they are very powerful, influential people in this area, Leland. They own massive, massive amounts of land. They are involved in different kinds of businesses. Everyone knows them. Everyone that we've talked to, for the most part, feared them. And some people even did know that they were in this group, God's Misfits. I spoke to the municipal judge here, the judge, who was very good friends and a business partner with one of the suspects. Again, shows you how small town this is. Listen to what he told me, Leland.
The way I understand it is they got God behind them and they make their own laws. But now, again, that's hearsay. I never knew about them.
That's what you're hearing from other people in town.
That's what I'm hearing from other people, yeah. I'm still, I'll say it again, I'm blown away that this even happened. I just can't. Tad was a very good friend of mine. I'm not going to say was a very good friend of mine. He is a good friend of mine. But this just blew me away.
That's the judge, Leland. So
Brian,
that is the
why
judge,
are you doing
Leland,
an interview in
the
a
municipal
car?
judge here. Well, it's a good question. He was actually just passing by the judge. I'd met him at his house yesterday, and today he decided he did want to speak, so he just got in the car with me, which kind of made it quick and easy to do because he was on his way to lunch.
Okay.
But that judge, who happens to be friends and business partners with one of the suspects, Tad Cullum, the judge was at the suspect's house when the raid went down with the SWAT team. The judge had a shotgun put in his face and was there when the raid happened. So, I mean, it's like this whole story is just, it's so bizarre and crazy, Leland.
So, are these God's Misfits people, so there's more to this group than just these four, right? Are we to believe that they have other things planned, that there's other bad things they're willing to do if they're allegedly involved in murdering this person? Or was it sort of like they were God's Misfits during the day and at night they just decided to hatch this double murder scheme?
So this is my sense, Leland. The God's Misfits component to this, the religious cult, I think is separate from what caused the murder. The murder really does seem to have been caused of those two moms because of the custody battle. And I think it just came out through all of that they were in the God's Misfits group. And I do think that may have had something to do with the fact that they thought they would get away with this because at the end of the day, you know, they believed they only had to adhere to as what they call God's laws.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven
unbiased coverage.